Hi everybody and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. On this video we have a story from Relationship Advice with an update and additional context, and one from Malicious Compliance. So if you want to go ahead and get started with the stories, just use the timestamps below the video. I'd also like to give a big shout out to all my supporters and the new members that have been coming in. It makes a huge difference and it really means a lot to me, so thank you very much. Now let's get started with the first story. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's by user Throwaway Family Help. I, 28 male, got my wife, 26 female, pregnant on our honeymoon. First, English is not my native language. I, 28 male, got my wife, 26 female, pregnant on our honeymoon. When her family found out, they verbally and physically attacked us both. This was not expected, and we don't know how to proceed. Due to COVID, we had a small wedding at my parents' lake house. Our honeymoon lasted 2 weeks and she was on birth control. It was implanted in my wife's arm. Her sister, 29 female, is married to a man, 29 male. Her sister has had fertility issues for several years. It has been a topic of conversation and my wife and I have been very supportive over the years. 2 weeks after our honeymoon, my wife was late and took a pregnancy test that was positive. My wife called the doctor the next morning to get the birth control removed and get confirmation of the pregnancy. We were invited to her parents, mom 56 and dad 59, for brunch after the pregnancy confirmation. My wife's not a drinker other than the occasional glass of wine, so we figured her not drinking would go unnoticed. However, she got sick and my wife's family figured it out. They called her horrible names and accused her of being reckless. Her mom went through my wife's purse and found the sonogram. Her mom then realized our baby was conceived on our honeymoon. They accused her of trying to hurt her sister. Then someone threw a chair at my wife. Luckily it hit me. My wife left sobbing from her parents' home. They continued to call and text. The final straw was what her mom said in a text. "I hope you have a miscarriage." We blocked all their numbers and social accounts after that. We are trying to make sense and figure how to fix this if possible. Do any of you know a possible way we can repair this? In all honesty, this came out of nowhere. Until this happened, she was a part of a loving family and they welcomed me as a son-in-law. OP, wow to this whole thing. Honestly, in my opinion, the moment someone throws a chair at your wife or you, I'd call that relationship pretty much over. It's kind of difficult to come back from that. To be honest, it's very difficult to make sense of all of this because usually people are very happy when, there's a baby on the way for any family member. Considering the information you've given us about your sister-in-law having fertility issues, the way the family reacted about your wife wanting to purposely hurt her sister, and then that horrible text message that your mother-in-law sent your wife, I'm guessing there's some sort of golden child thing going on here, and maybe that would explain, not excuse of course, this all weird and stupid behavior. If I was you, I'd keep them all blocked, like forever, because honestly, I don't think this can be fixed, and I'd just focus on my wife, making sure that she's okay and that the baby's okay. What do you guys think? Let me know your opinion on the situation in the comment section and what kind of advice you would give OP, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they had to say. Molly Rolls says, yeah, no, this level of toxicity doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Get her into therapy as soon as possible to help her come to terms with her family dynamics. I guarantee this is just the tip of the iceberg. Snowmuffins6118 says, can't fix what you didn't break. There's no way for you to fix someone throwing a chair at your pregnant wife. That's not your issue to fix. You can't fix crazy. Someone planted a car bomb and my car is in bits. How can I fix this? You can't. They've destroyed it beyond repair. There's no both sides here. Maybe her sister is the golden child and she's the scapegoat. Google it. Or maybe her family is just irredeemably bad crap insane. Stable Personal says, maybe I'm petty and I like to hurt people back. But sometimes you can't take the high road and let people get away with the crap they do. I would save those texts and any other hurtful texts they have sent both of you. I would then take screenshots and blast them all over social media for all their family, co-workers and friends to see. Not because I think they'll be apologetic all of a sudden, but so that they become embarrassed over their insane and abusive behavior that they have shown their own daughter. I'm sure they wouldn't like for everyone to know their true colors. Again, maybe petty or immature, but sometimes people need to be taken down a notch. They are those people. Also, I would never allow them into my life again, even if they did apologize. They showed their true colors, and the text wishing your wife miscarries is unforgivable. OP's curated edit to add. Law enforcement and the DA have been involved. A police report is on file and I can press charges. My wife asked me not to for now. So for now, I won't, because I don't want to cause her any more stress. This happened 15 days ago, and she's still in some shock. Plus, the whole event was recorded by their security system. My wife is listed as someone with full access, and we downloaded it and have a copy. Hospital where the obstetrician is on staff has been made aware of, so has the closest hospital to our house, just in case. Her blood pressure has been a little high, so her obstetrician has for now listed her as high risk. She and I are going for weekly appointments. Therapy is what I'm looking into now. Okay, well, the community absolutely agrees in that OP cannot fix this and should not even try. That his in-laws are crazy and abusive, and you don't want a relationship with that kind of people. And from what OP tells us, they've taken the proper steps to ensure his wife's health and the baby's as well. And also, they have all they need to press charges. And to that, I would say, OP, as soon as your wife is comfortable with pressing charges against her family, that is the first thing you should do. Now, we have an update from OP regarding this situation, so how about we continue with that now? So, last night, my wife told me when she was younger, starting in elementary school and up until early high school, her sister was always heavily praised and called beautiful, smart, and so on, while my wife can't recall any praise, and she was told by both her parents she needed to be more beautiful and smart like her sister. Then, my wife dropped this bombshell. Her mom and dad on several occasions told her, "It would be easier if you were a boy. At least then your lifestyle would make sense." How does a parent even say that? This stopped for the most part when she hit puberty, because my wife thinks she looked less like a tomboy. For a little context, my wife is 5'9" and in great shape. She went to college on a full D1 athletic scholarship. What she told me makes what happened make a little bit more sense. Her sister is the golden child, and my wife is not her parents' ideal child, but this doesn't excuse their behavior. My wife admitted she probably needs to see a therapist, and we are working on getting one. My wife and I question if we can salvage the relationship with her family now that we know what the likely problem is. Do you all think it is possible to salvage the relationship, or even should? Thanks for the helpful advice. Sorry for spelling. I'm not a writer, I'm a numbers guy. I'm writing these for both advice and to keep my sanity. My family is of the mindset to go no contact and scorched earth and use every legal and law enforcement tool we have access to ensure they never are able to hurt my wife. So you all have been a great help and independent source of advice. The baby is being well monitored and is healthy, thankfully. OP's edit to add. Common questions asked by you. Question: why would you want to reconcile? Answer: the only reason I initially entertained the idea was my wife asked me to. For the first few days, she was wanting to fix this. Now she's starting to come to terms with this and is more along the lines of, should we try and fix this? I realized she has some underlying childhood trauma now, and it may take a while for her to process this. Question: is she seeing a therapist? Answer: yes, she had her first session today. Question: is law enforcement or lawyers involved? Answer: yes, lawyers are working this matter out of respect for my wife and her stress level. Actions have been documented and prepared, but not filed. As for law enforcement, yes, they are aware, and again, reports are on file and charges can be filed if need be. Question: are your wife and baby okay? Answer: the baby is fine. My wife is for the most part physically fine. She had some blood pressure for a few days. Her obstetrician is keeping a close eye on her. Mentally, she's a little more shaken up, but she's okay. So from what we get, OP is actually just trying to fix this because her wife is the one that's pushing for that, but apparently she's coming to terms with the fact that her family absolutely sucks and that she should just cut contact with them altogether. Now, I was able to find more information in the comment section from OP's responses, and I've curated that to give you guys some more context, so let's go through that now. I think, in all honesty, my wife is wishing for new parents, or some way to fix it, because they're still her parents. This is why she and I realized therapy is needed. My wife is close with my family, especially my mom. After the attack, I took my wife to the ER to get her and the baby checked out. My parents came to the ER as fast as they could. My mom and wife have been talking daily, mostly new mom questions, talking about what to expect during pregnancy. Also, my family and I have been quietly making preparations for scorched earth. Half of my family have law degrees, so that's been helpful. Legal action has been prepared and would only need to be filed. The main reason my family and I have not filed them is my wife asked us to hold off. She's still processing everything and I don't want to cause her more stress. This whole thing was a shock to my wife. I think in part because the abuse she now realizes happened when she was younger, she surpassed. At first she said, "We need to fix this." Then it was, "Can we fix this?" Now we're at, "Should we fix this?" I'm going to support her as she comes to terms with this. If it was me, yeah, restraining order and felony charges would be my preference, but I don't want to stress my wife more than needed. I'm fully aware of the statute of limitations and other similar issues. As far as security goes, we live in a gated community with security, and I also have security measures on my property, including cameras and other measures. We have new phone numbers, even my office issued me a new number, have new social media accounts for some and deleted others, and their emails have been blocked. The reason they have cameras in the house was due to her grandma living with her parents. They used the cameras to keep an eye on grandma if she was at home by herself. She was mentally okay, but at 91 she used a cane. She died right before COVID. All the family, including my wife, had access to security cameras just in case grandma fell. No one from her family has apologized, and I don't know why her mom did what she did. Her sister was involved. She called my wife a floozy and an idiot. Thank you everyone for your comments, advice and concerns. You have helped a great deal. I have shown her some of the comments and it has helped her and she really appreciates the help. I have found all the comments for most part useful and it has helped me keep perspective. Okay, and that is all we know. So basically, we're just waiting for the wife to come to terms that her family sucks absolutely and that she should go ahead and press charges. Everything else is ready to go. It's also great that OP's family has been acting like an awesome support network both for him and his wife, legally and emotionally. So on that note, I'll just say, OP, congratulations to you both on the pregnancy. Hopefully it'll all go well without any hiccups, and that your wife is able to process all of this properly so that you guys can actually press charges. As for the rest of us, we now move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Carador. I have to wait in the queue? Okay, if you insist. So, I work at a small garden center, and we have a system where if the queue is getting too long, the person on tills calls on the radio to open another till. Basically means that staff can be doing other things when there aren't enough customers to justify having 2, 3 or 4 tills open. I'm sure you can guess where this is going already. Over the last week or so, it's been absolutely baking by UK standards, and to top it off, our till area is what used to be the main greenhouse before the site got expanded. Old greenhouse, little airflow, scorching weather, it was hot as balls in there. This was causing a combination of angry customers and exhausted staff. And to top it off, our uniform is more what you'd call guidelines than an actual uniform. Navy polo, toe-capped boots, and you're good to go. So when I get the call for a second till, there are about 3 or 4 groups in the queue. And I go to walk past the queue with some sweets to keep me sweet and my water bottle to go to the tills. Until a 6-foot rugby player looking type at the back of the queue puts his arm to stop me and says, "Oi mate, don't you know what a queue is?" I try to tell him that I'm opening up a till and he cuts me off with, "You don't get to skip." Once again, I try to explain myself and he says, "I don't care, you wait like the rest of us." At this point, with this guy getting pretty angry and turning a very deep shade of crimson, I look at the till with an exasperated look, catch my colleague's eye and just go, "Fine then," and wait. It was too hot to argue over this, and I wasn't going to risk this getting physical. My colleague, with a knowing smile, picks up her radio and says, "Can I have another till, please? I don't think OP can make it." No one arrives, probably due to a combination of radio issues, brakes colliding, and not my problem. So we wait. Only takes about 5 minutes to get to the front, but the angry dude is getting redder by the second. So he goes up to be served with a loud, "Finally!" I'm now in the front of the queue, go up to my till, log in and call out, "Can I help anyone on this side?" There was a loud, "Are you effing with me?" from angry dude, but my colleague was quick to loudly point out that I did try and explain several times that he got very aggressive with me for doing so and was honestly lucky we were serving him at all. He decided to just leave rather than embarrass himself any further, left his purchases on the desk and just left. Nice, OP, that was fantastic malicious compliance. Even though I hate line cutters because, come on dude, get in line, you also hear people out, man. He wasn't having any of it? Well, that's on him. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.